clear. Temperature 3, dew point -1, altimeter's 29902. Visual approach and use runway 18. Advise initial contact via Papa.
Executive ground, Skyline, November 58843 at the East T hangars, ready to taxi with Papa for an eastbound departure.
Cessna 58843, exec ground, runway 18, taxi via Foxtrot Bravo.
18 via Foxtrot Bravo, 58843. There was a citation took off on 18.
If it's winds calm, well, so our runway, there's nothing down at 36. But like, so if it was winds calm, but generally more, say, north, like say 1 knot from 36, they'll still let everybody take off 18 because we're all up here.
Okay, for takeoff, turn on our lights. Brakes are set, flight instrument. I didn't catch the altimeter.
You are
I can just set it to...
No, just hear it. Listen to it.
1453 Zulu weather, wind calm, visibility 10, sky clear. Temperature 3, dew point -1, altimeter's 29902.
29902.
Do you know why you can't just set it for instrument flights? Why?
Because everybody else has got that pressure.
So everyone else has that pressure, that's number one. Number two, if you just set it to the correct one and don't bother to check the altimeter, this is legally required for instrument flight. The 2992, that is legally required. So it is also has to be within 75 feet of your known field elevation. So if you set it to 2992 and this says 900,
I gotcha.
You got to turn around and go back, right?
Yeah.
So if you had just set it and you were up at we're down at 2875, and you go, well, I set it, so I know it's right. What do you think would happen when you got to Lee Summit and you put in 3001?
Right.
You're going to be eating dirt.
Going to be off, yeah.
Oh, you're going to be eating dirt, yeah, because you're 200 feet off. So, yeah, so that's a no-no.
Okay.
You can do that VFR. I flew a plane that had no window, and you just set it for field. VFR, that's legal because you know what the field elevation is. But no, IFR has to be within 75 feet. So you can't. You have to at least.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they've already called for taxi, and I know they've done their run up.
Okay.
So actually, I'll give Tower a call, and I'll let them know. And Executive Tower, Skyline 58843. We are holding short. We're in the run up area of 18. We'll wait for the Cessna to go ahead of us, then we're ready as well.
Okay. Well, why do you want to wait for the Cessna? You ready to go?
Yeah, but we're not up for the line yet.
That's all right. 58843, runway 18, clear for takeoff, east departure approved.
All right, 58843, we're clear for takeoff and east departure. Trying to be nice.
Yeah, that's what you get for being nice.
I know. Not have had coffee yet. Hey, rock and roll.
Okay, I'll put my hood down.
Okay. That climb coming.
Yeah.
Look at you leveling off.
Executive Tower.
And you can actually head to Wampo now. You're going to be cleared to Wampo.
Bravo.
I love that accent.
170 Romeo Bravo, exact on chart.
Holding short, Romeo Bravo.
Tower Airport 8, I can hold here at Bravo and let M3.
God,
Roger, report off the runway.
everybody's trying to be so nice to him today and let him go.
Exact Tower Airport 8 is off of 1836, holding at Bravo.
170 Romeo Bravo, runway 18, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff for Romeo Bravo.
I love that.
Trying to place what it is. It's not quite British.
I think it's South African or possibly New Zealand. So my best friend is South African, another pilot, and I loved it when he was a flight instructor as I was like getting my flight instructor and stuff, and then eventually we were both flight instructors, but different schools. But I loved hearing him on the field.
Executive Tower, Cessna 1053 X-ray, holding short 18, ready for takeoff, stay in the pattern.
I loved hearing him because it was just so nice hearing this little South African accent. He's a tiny guy.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just so nice hearing this like a little South, it was like flying with Harry Potter constantly. It was awesome.
Observation 1529er Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 04 Celsius. Dew point -01 Celsius.
What happened?
The one thing you need, it might be redoing. Is it the top of an hour or something? 9:30? Okay, it might be redoing. Or it just disappeared. Should pop back on here. Yeah.
Remarks. Density altitude 0.
Wow.
Okay, so decision altitude's 1306. Wampo, Jarrah's is my final approach fix.
And now remember, this is a RNAV approach, so you're going to stay at your altitude until the glide path comes down.
Got it.
On a traffic 999 Charlie, that's about 8 miles to the north, will be straight in lane 1.
Climbed a little bit.
Okay, that guy will be out of our way beforehand.
Lead summit traffic, Archer, November 9, 552 Kilo, departing 18, will be leaving the pattern to the south. Lead summit.
And traffic departing Lee Summit, Skyline 58843. We're at 3,000, and we're going to be maneuvering about 10 miles south of the field, and then towards the field we're going to do practice RNAV 36, so we'll be at 3,000.
Left-hand traffic, we'll copy that, 52 Kilo. We'll go off to the south of the practice area.
Poor Frank, yesterday, he was like, you want me to go fly with him tomorrow? I'm like, I'm going to go fly with him tomorrow. You go fly with him, like, later this week. Poor Frank just wants to get in a plane so bad. You could probably kidnap him and put him in a plane right now and he'd be happy. They're like, where's this plane going? Turkish prison? You'd be like, okay.
You want me to do the hold?
Yeah. So do you see how this one is drawn without the T on each side?
Yeah.
That means the hold's required. You notice it didn't, when you put this one in, it didn't ask you if you wanted to fly the course reversal.
Right.
It's because it's required. You notice how it's drawn in there with no, we don't have any of the T, you know, the T where you can come in on each side.
Yeah.
It's just that one, so it's non-optional.
Right, okay.
So even if you were coming straight in, you would be, quote, like a direct entry. Lee Summit traffic, Skyline 58843, 10 south of the field, practice, RNAV 36 will be low approach only, Lee Summit.
11 traffic, Warrior 4469, turning left, crosswind 18, 11 traffic.
Okay, timer, don't need timer. Yeah, so mixtures in, prop,
Traffic, King Air 39 is 3.5, 4 miles to the northeast. Inbound for full stop landing, runway 17. Lease on it.
See, now you're going to end up too slow because you want to be 100. You took out too much power. Remember, I said last time.
Yeah.
Don't take out as much power because now we're even still slightly coming down.
Yeah,
and so see how your nose up? So now what you're doing is slow flight, basically.
Yeah.
It's a little faster, but you're now literally doing slow flight. And so you're going to have to put your nose down and add the power.
You want me to put flaps in?
No, because we're going to go missed.
Okay.
But see, this is that about 3 mile thing where we're starting to do the...
Yeah.
Oh my God, everybody's hopping on there. So whatever you go to pull out after this, take out less than you think you might need. But then don't wait until, like...
It's just starting to move now a little bit.
You see how we're flying nose up?
Yeah.
That's
the teardrop now. Do you have us inside or on the
never what you want, like going into approach, because that's where you end up then having to dive, because now you're flying nose up. So then to end up having flies nose down, you have to do like way too much.
Moving across the 1,800 and our left down runway 16, signal.
There you go. Now see how this is now starting to slightly
I just pulled a touch of power out.
Even 50 sometimes.
Go to 1,800, we'll be entering the left down runway 16, signal.
And part of that sometimes is going to happen because your wind is going to shift, right? So sometimes if you add a headwind that now shifts to a crosswind or something, I'm going to put this in. It seems not.
Yeah, it's
partway in.
burping a little bit.
Yeah. If that's happening, you can leave this like halfway out. And in fact, as Frank and I very rarely pull his out fully on his plane. Put it back in.
I'm getting...
Yeah, see how it's gotten away from you, below you?
Yeah.
Lee 7...
Flight 634 is turning left down runway 16, Kingsville.
Lee 7 traffic, Skylane 58843, 3 miles straight in, runway 36, low approach only, Lee Summit. So see, there you're having to dive. You had it really good until then, just watch that. If it starts trending below, you really got to be on top of it. Not bad, not bad. What's your minimum?
1306.
Okay. Lee 7 traffic, Skylane 58843, mile final, runway 36 will be low approach only, and miss to the east, Lee Summit. Now here's where it catches you. You never dive too much because then it goes on the other way on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it right now. You're doing good. This is where now we are 104, which is fine without flaps. You would have your flaps out. Ooh, it's getting you. It's getting you. All right, go ahead and look up. So see how even that tiny little bit puts you on the taxiway? All right, let's go miss.
Traffic, Turkey 225, Foxtrot Golf, 5 miles to the north, straight in, runway 18.
That was like such a tiny little bit off, and it puts you over the taxiway. So that's how sensitive these things get. Lee Summit traffic, Skylane 58843 is going missed off of runway 36 and departing to the east, Lee Summit. They're super sensitive at the end. And so when you did this one a couple days ago, remember you got too quickly, right? You were fine. The idea is to get it done. So if you have 5 miles, what I always do is minus my visibility. So if it requires a mile, then give yourself 4 miles to get to that altitude. Because in theory, when you hit 4 miles, which would be like this, so this one has a mile statute ground visibility as required, right?
Yeah.
And then I believe it's 500 feet is what the altitude is.
Yes.
Okay, so in theory, this approach shouldn't be really shot unless you have 500 in a mile anyway, right?
Right.
So that's where the reasonable expectation is that you would see the runway. So that's where I try to hit it. I try to hit that 500 AGL at the mile, because then you should see your runway. Because if it's less than a mile, you technically shouldn't really be doing this approach anyway, or expect to see anything.
Right.
So hitting it 2 miles out wouldn't really do any good if you still have a,
You have to fly it, though.
if you have to fly in the clouds 500 feet off the ground for a mile, that's sketch. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
225Q Lima is 10 miles to the north, looking for landing runway 18, least summit traffic.
I'd rather be, you know, have an extra 500 feet in the cloud. If I got to be in the clouds either way, I'd rather be higher.
Higher than lower.
Yeah, exactly. So always just take whatever your requirement is and minus it by that last segment, and that gives you. So here it's about 4 miles. So you have 4 miles to lose X amount of feet, and if you're going 90, that's about 45 seconds for every amount on your VSI, or about for a mile. Lee Summit traffic, Skyline 58843 is 9 to the northeast. We'll be practicing the VOR Alpha, and we can go mist off of runway 18, Lee Summit. I know there's one guy in the pattern, so we'll have to sort of try to...
Today, traffic 715 Alpha Echo, transitioning east to west. At 1,600 feet, I'll just be on the approach in of 18 westbound today, traffic.
Little too soon.
Yep.
You're going to parallel it if you did that.
Yep.
Look at your wind.
Yeah,
always look at your wind, too, because you want...
my right, yeah.
Yeah. We keep this in mind because we're going to probably circle today, so you remember we don't want to do the, fast downwind or fast base again.
Least summit traffic, Archer 225Q Lima, turning left crosswind, runway 18, least summit traffic.
Okay, watch your altitude too, because we're still
saw it.
iffy. Lee Summit traffic, Skyline 58843. We are 6 miles to the northeast. We'll keep an eye out. We'll try to squeeze in behind you on the downwind. Lee Summit. Yeah, if you end up...
Lee Summit traffic, Archer 52 Kilo is 5 to the southeast inbound for runway 18.
This is why I don't love the Lee Summit.
Lee Summit. Lee Summit traffic, Archer 225 Kilo is on a left downwind for runway 18. Lee Summit traffic.
Big Cessna 27300, left base for 17, Rankin.
Traffic in the pattern at Lee Summit, are you going to be a touch and go or a full stop taxi back?
Be a touch and go, 5 Kilo.
Roger, thanks. Yeah, and see how we're flying nose up again a little?
Yeah.
That's your one thing. That one is what gets you all the time on these. That's still the one major flying error you're making.
Yeah, I'm trying to slow it down.
Yeah. You got to find that right combination of letting the nose droop versus back pull versus power shift.
Alright, so there's
Summit
Jeffy.
traffic 225 Kilo Lima, we're making short approach runway 18, turning left base. Lee Summit.
Okay.
Pull the Carpedo prop in.
Let's leave it in. It seems a little cranky today.
Put the prop in.
Lee Summit traffic, Skyline 58843, 4 to the northeast. We'll join a left base and then overfly runway 18, Lee Summit. Lee Summit traffic, Skyline 58843, 2.5 miles northeast. We'll be joining a left base, runway 18, and overflying the runway, Lee Summit. What's your mins?
1440.
Okay. Good job. Much better at not, diving.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you, if you fly with...
was on the go, runway 18, Lee Summit.
I will tell you, if you fly with Chris is a dive.
On the go, we've got you in sight. We're right here at the 45 on the corner, entering a left downwind for a 1H, and we're looking for the inbound base leg Cessna, 52 Kilo Lee Summit.
We're just crossing by the Lee Summit water tower right now, about to cross the highway.
Okay, we're looking for
There's
you.
my
We're down
minimums.
here on the south end of the downwind.
Okay, go ahead and look up.
One a little bit to allow you some time for sequencing. 5 Kilo Lee Summit. We appreciate that, and we're going to do a touch and go as well.
Okay. So now just stay
Gardner traffic, yellow cub,
15.
left downwind, 17 Gardner.
That's good right there. And then we're going to do like a quote base.
Okay.
Because we're trying to fit in with other traffic. So we can't just like go miss.
Right.
Lee Summit traffic, Skyline 5843, base about to turn final to overfly the field and depart to the south on runway 18, Lee Summit. All right, go ahead.
System traffic, Archer 25 Kilo, let's turn to left crosswind from 18.
All right, go ahead, turn final now.
Lee Summit traffic, 52 Kilos, midfield, left downwind. We have the Skyline.
You can keep climbing.
So we'll be doing a touch and go, Lee Summit.
Keep climbing, climbing, climbing. I know. Let's go to Harrisonville. Let's throw Harrisonville in there really quick.
All right.
We're going to do 17. Now, I will have you go direct to Femmel.
All right.
So, you can stay at your 27 or whatever.
All right.
LRY. I know that one's a stupid one.
Lee Summit traffic, Archer 25 Kilo, let's turn final from 18, Lee Summit.
Yes. See when you fly consistently how much easier life is?
Yeah. You want 25 or 27?
I think 27 is
all
whatever the altitude for that approach is. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. 29. Yeah, let's do 29.
All right.
Now this is kind of good because this is the first time you've had these two really this close. And every approach will be this close on your check ride, just so you know. He is, like I said, he gets paid by the each, not by the hour. You're going to be up and down in like 1.3.
Okay.
So,
hopefully not sooner.
At Abe's was like 0.9 or something.
Oh, wow.
But in all fairness, Abe went from Lee Summit to Kansas, what's that one right north of it? Kansas,
Oh, East Kansas City?
No, East Kansas City is slightly to the east. You know the one slightly to the north?
Yeah.
Traffic, Bedplate 3 is 7 miles, U.S. the airfield, northwest.
He went from he took off at Lee Summit. His approach point was like a couple miles away because he did one approach into 3-6, turned around, hit the missed hold. The hold point on that, we can do it once, like if we fly out of Lee Summit. The hold for the missed on 3-6 is the initial fix for the approach that comes in on 1-8. So he literally went missed, went to the hold, turned around, came back down another approach, and then did the VOR Alpha into Lee Summit. That was it. That was his whole entire flight.
Wow.
Harrisonville traffic, Skyline 58843 is 8 to the north. Will be a low approach straight in on runway 17, Harrisonville. The nice thing about this airport is the only people that use it are doing practice approaches and crop dusting. So if it's not crop dusting season, you can pretty much guarantee you got it to yourself. Harrisonville traffic, Skyline 58843, 5 miles straight in, runway 17 will be low approach only, Harrisonville.
All right, prop in now.
Yeah, so see how you didn't hear the rev?
Yeah.
It's because, so when you did it last time you were up here and now you're down here. And we'll leave the carb heat in for this one.
Okay, I figured that.
Just because we might do a little bit. Do a little bit. It is, I don't know if this is accurate. It's saying the carb is pretty warm, so.
I don't think that gauge works.
It doesn't work at all, but I'm just wondering if it's one of those things where it works when it's not moving. Looking good. Yeah, this descent is much better. Now see how your wind is here? and it's coming off here. So
Yeah.
now you have to see how your line, that little white line goes to there?
Yeah.
You're never going to catch this. So here, look up really quick. Do you see where we're pointed?
Yeah.
Do you see an airport?
Yeah. Well, over there.
Over there.
Yeah.
We're pointed at people's houses, farmhouses. So you have to, your little white line's going right there. White line. That sounded so 70s cocaine.
Piper M600, about 4 west, overflying midfield, about 1,500 feet, then left turn out to the north.
Harrisonville traffic, 58843 straight in, runway 172 miles out will be low approach only, Harrisonville.
Yeah, we're way high.
Yeah, because we got distracted with by being off, your rate of descent sort of went. And when that happens now, you're having to dive,
yeah.
which puts us back up at the 120. So all that time you found getting the right speed completely goes out the window because there's no way, this runway's too short to be landing if you were going 120 right here, considering we're still also high.
All right. Well, let's call this one a lesson learned.
Yeah, go ahead and look up. So see where you are. So let's stop for a second. This is this much off, which puts us slightly over here, which if we add a taxiway, and then we're high. So go ahead and add your power and we'll go climb out and put that car in. Okay, and then whenever you want to program it, we're going to do the RNAV 3.6 into OJC, and we'll use that load coup point that we used the other day. Again,
should I call the tower? Do you want to call?
No, you can call them. You got to start getting the hang of it.
All right. Executive Tower, Skylane, November 58843, mile and a half east of Mara. I'd like to do a practice RNAV 3.6 approach and circle to land on 1.8. And we have Quebec.
Quebec. We have Quebec.
Yeah.
We'll give him a second. He might be...
That's a 58843, exec report Rexby inbound.
Report Rexby inbound, 843. I think Air Associates is practicing over there?
It's either Air Associates, which is possible. Instructors have... Because he might be doing... You remember the other day I said he's flying circles? He might be doing ground reference maneuvers.
Yeah.
And that is one of my favorite spots to do them because there's a few really good fields that are pretty dang square. And that would make sense with his altitude being about 500 to 700 feet off the ground. And Tower 58843 is Rexby inbound.
58843, roger. The wind's 1403. Just want to land 3.6 or you still want to circle?
We need to practice circling if it's okay with you.
843, roger. Circle east at your own discretion. Runway 18 clear to land.
18 clear to land, 58843. This is funny because you started out low and now it's below you.
Yeah, I see that.
That's the most common thing, people not coming down. You're not unusual.
That's not what my wife said.
Did she say you're unusual in a good way or a bad way?
Sometimes it's each, depends on it.
Depends on the day, right?
That's right.
Yeah, as far as instrument student goes, trust me, I was the same way. I was not coming down for any. I'm like, I'm not pointing the ground, playing at a ground I can't see. And my instructor was like, so we're just going to run out of fuel, or what are we doing? All right, go ahead and look up and circle because we're getting pretty close.
All right.
All right, go ahead and circle 58843, circling to the east. I was the same way. My instructor, what finally cured me is my instructor had me do, which I had you guys do the approaches where you could see. Because he was like, see, it's okay, you can come down. And I finally was like, oh, okay. That's all I needed. I just needed to see it was okay. But yeah, generally people don't come down fast enough. Because as instruments instructors, what's the thing we teach you all the time? Altitude's your friend, right?
Yeah.
Well, what happens is everybody gets the idea that being high is okay. It's okay if I'm a little high. It's safer than being low. Well, the problem is on an approach, like you saw into Harrisonville, you're fast and a little high, there's no way you can land. Like, yes, it's safer because you're not going to run into anything, but you're going to have to turn around and do the approach again, which is technically not really safer because after the second missed approach and instrument is when the most accidents occur. So if you go 2 missed approaches, an instrument, that's when it starts to get, you're in that danger zone of
time to go someplace else.
Of squishing. No, even if they're in different places.
Oh, really?
It's because of fatigue.
Oh.
And also, at that point, sometimes people are legitimately starting to run out of fuel. Depending.
Put flaps in.
Yeah, we can do 2 flaps on this landing.
Right.
Legitimately, sometimes people have not, because we only make you plan for 1 alternate and a missed, right? So if you go 2 and a missed, now there might legitimately be fuel concerns. Depending on, you know, how well you planned, how big your plane is, and all that kind of stuff. But it's a lot of fatigue, because people start making desperate choices that they shouldn't be making. So right now you're going to be slightly high. But we will come down, that's fine. But just be aware of that, because we're not coming down. You got to watch that. Yeah. You got to watch that VSI and stuff, even VFR. I mean, if you don't realize in the turns that you're not coming down, then that's not great. Now, at least with this plane, it'll sink pretty good here. So